But I mean, if you like always back it, in and out, then how you know it's on and it's on? Like, if you do it at the same time.
Yes.
How do you know it's on this time?
Yeah, because if you punch like one time, it means that it's on. If you punch again, it means this on.
I haven't explained everything.
Oh, okay.
Still
Okay.
going
Go
through
ahead,
it.
go ahead.
It'll have notifications.
Okay, no problem.
So also you can arm with the reader or the input, like this door input. If you have a push button beside your reader, you can push it to arm. You won't have that on the outside, obviously.
Okay, of course.
The inside, so you can push the button, it'll turn the system on, and then you go out the door. Now, these are the default settings. Reader 1, lock 1. Reader 2, lock 2. Reader 3, lock 3, 4, and 4. And same with reader 5, 6, 7, 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4. In the weekend, reader 1 will control lock 1, and reader 2, lock 2. That's default settings. You can change that so it's mixed. I'll show you later how to change it. Door monitoring, lock 1 is assigned to
zone door 1.
Zone or / door 1. Now you have to remember there's difference between a lock and a door. Okay, the lock is this device here. The door is the actual this part here. This is the door monitoring, which is connected to the magnetic part. So that's the lock, and then this to the door or zone monitoring. That's the monitor.
That's the data for door.
Yes. So like
This lock.
Yep. This is the right. This is the input.
Input for door.
Yep.
It's power for lock.
Yes. Okay, I designed this manual so it's like a step-by-step guide. So you should follow it from the beginning on every setup. And don't just go to the end and try to set up your system. Look from the beginning, because what's important is the connection to UNIS. If you don't have the connection to UNIS, you can't set up the system detailing. But if you don't use UNIS, that's why it has those default settings. Reader 1, lock 1, reader 2, lock 2. If you don't need to change anything else, then you can just leave it as it is, and you don't need to worry about UNIS. So with UNIS, from the factory, the CP040 has a default IP address. Now, if you want to change that, it gives you instructions here how to, when using a router, direct to PC. So
peer-to-peer.
Yeah, like we have, not right now, but
No,
you can connect.
And router.
You can connect
Connect
it direct.
peer-to-peer.
Oh no, not right now.
Okay.
You don't need to.
Okay.
But it's already connected.
Okay,
to
like.
this. But you can connect this directly to the controller and set your PC to this address.
Okay.
And then your CP040 already has that address, so it'll automatically connect to UNIS, and then you can change in UNIS the IP later, the real IP. Now, the other thing we have is UDP setup. So if you want to change if you connect this anywhere on the network, and your PC is on another network, you can use this other program.
Terminal finder.
Yes. This will work with all our other terminals also.
Monitoring. It's
a
searching the
setup.
IPs.
It's setting up the IPs on the device. So right now it found this CP040.
3.
Yeah. It found this CP040. So right now UNIS is not connected. This example UNIS, and you need to change the IP. You use this program, and then you can
First we change the IP of controller.
with this program here, this terminal finder program.
Okay.
Or if you don't want to use a terminal finder, you connect direct to the PC. But if you don't know the IP, then you use this device. If you forgot the IP in this, the default is 192.168.0.6. But if you forgot that, you need to use the terminal finder, and then you can find the IP immediately. And then you can set the IP here, and then there's a password, and then you apply. So it'll apply the new IP, and then you can automatically connect to Unis, whatever your IP is for Unis on your network. So as I said, you have the three choices: using a router, direct to PC, and also the UDP setup, the terminal finder program. Those are the three ways you can set up the IP for connecting to Unis. Once you have established a connection to Unis, then you can do detailed setup and get the status of the system. And there's just an example here about reader connection. Connect to 485 plus and minus. Now you can also connect the readers to weekend input on the weekend 1 or weekend 2. That's standard weekend, so you can use weekend instead of 485.
The standard is 26 bits or
Yeah,
26 bits.
26 or 34 bit.
Doesn't matter. So we can connect to other controller as well.
Yeah. Other readers.
Yeah, other.
Connect to the input.
No, I mean, if there is another controller, can we sell this unit to there with a
Other control.
like a whatever brand controller? Can they use it as a reader with the weekend communication?
You mean, does it have a weekend output?
Only input it has.
Yes.
Only input.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can only connect a reader type, but there's outputs to trigger external controllers. So if you want during an alarm condition, trigger a fire alarm controller or other system, but there's no way to send actually the card data to that controller. There's no weekend output.
Why do you have the weekend out there?
This is on the reader. So there's just a guide how to connect the reader, and this 485, it has these LEDs for debugging to see if your transmitting and receiving is okay. So if you can't get a connection, you use these LEDs for seeing if it's connected, transmitting and receiving okay. So you have to set an ID. Each reader on the 485 has an ID. So there's switches inside there that you can set ID 0 through 7.
Dip switch that I show you in the back side of 3 dip switch.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
inside.
I do.
Yeah,
That's what
we
we're talking
can
about.
change. Yeah,
That's
can
what
change.
we're talking about.
Okay.
If two readers have the same ID, then it won't work. So each reader has to have a different ID number.
Let's see.
Okay.
So, and obviously when you connect the reader, your system should be powered down. So I designed it so when you power up the system, it automatically searches for readers on the system. So there's a 30-second to 1 minute, auto enrolling procedure. After that time, it scans all the devices and determines if it's responding, and it'll enroll it in the system. We also have this installation and wiring guide. Do you have this also?
Yeah, here.
This in here also? Did you check it out? Tell us about the inputs.
Besides some mistake, you repair it. Huh? The mistake before he.
How to connect the readers,
Yeah.
reading readers.
Yeah, some mistake before. I don't know what.
But he said it's not really a mistake actually. The color was made.
Black and green, maybe some different things. I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
And this was based on the reader.
Yeah, yeah. It is. Look, it's green. It's 4 and blue. It's 5. No, this is the difference.